Hey guys, Akadulist here. I am finally back from my Dungeons and Dragons weekend Halloween party event thing. Really fun time this weekend. I hope you guys had a good weekend too. And without further ado, Soul Fusion just came out this weekend. And oh boy, this set is something. I can say that. No deck profile Monday today. We're gonna overview look at this set because there's a lot going on in this set. We got new archetypes. We have a YCS for, this weekend, and Thunder Dragons topped at this YCS. The top 32, 9 of those were Thunder Dragons, and I think it was 7 were Dangers, which I'm honestly kind of surprised. Dangers kind of just took like that with the new support, and honestly, same with Thunder Dragons. I wasn't expecting Thunder Dragons to be an instant meta changer like that. Just wow. I knew they'd be meta, but I just wasn't thinking it'd be an instant thing. It'd be a little bit. That's why I felt, but well, I was wrong. So looking at the set, we have some new archetypes. We got the Thunder Dragons, which is the hype of the set. Everyone is probably familiar with them, so I do not need to give an introduction or anything to those. But tomorrow we will do a video talking about how to counter Thunder Dragons and be prepared for them, as I'm going to have some Thunder Dragon players locally, and you guys might too. So we're going to take a look at that and how to prepare yourself for Thunder Dragons. We also got the Dino Wrestlers, which is a really kind of cool-looking anime archetype, and we'll probably get more support later, seeing as also just dinosaurs are popular still, and have been. Definitely expecting support for those guys later, and even if you're not interested in Dino Wrestlers and you still are a Dino player, the I think it's Triceratops, the Triceratops Dino Wrestler, from what I hear, from what I looked at, is actually somewhat generic, and people have started playing it in other dinosaur decks that's not Dino Wrestler. So, I don't really know anything about them, but just from what I heard, just from what I've been seeing, it's been popping up in other dinosaur decks. So might be worth getting if you are just a dinosaur player in general. We also got Salamangrates, which are a very weird, interesting archetype. Out of the new archetypes, this is the one I went for, and I'm not going to be building them for a while. I honestly want to wait till the other half we get the other half of the archetype, because they're kind of garbage right now, but I'm really interested to see where they go. And they also have a fusion monster that we don't have that's actually not, effect-wise, he's pretty, has a very kind of good effect, but just like the Link and Ritual monster, you have to use it as material, so it does kind of fall back and have somewhat of the same flaw as Gemini monsters did, where they had to essentially be summoned twice, except these are a little bit harder to do. But that's what I'm interested in seeing where the archetype goes. We also got a bunch of archetypes, a bunch of older archetypes with newer support. The two more hyped ones being, oh boy, Dangers, which I've been seeing so many Mothman memes. Oh my gosh, that meme is probably going to be around for a while. But Dangers just got more support, and I was actually curious as to where the archetype would go. While I am interested in more of the paranormal, I do have an interest in some paranormal kind of stuff. I wasn't really interested in playing this deck. I thought it was a cool concept and all, like design wise and all, but altogether not for me. But the art, I will admit, they do have some really cool artwork, and it's a very cool archetype. The other one of the other more hyped archetypes that got support was Gravekeepers, which I know not everyone's been talking about, but I know a long time ago the support was kind of shown, and it's one of those archetypes that honestly just people kind of kept talking about here and there, and it is a original Yu-Gi-Oh or a archetype from the original Yu-Gi-Oh, so it does have some sort of what's the word I'm looking for? It's something I remember from all these years. While I never did play Gravekeepers, it's really interesting to me to see that they would get new support now all of a sudden, and the fact that it's fusion support is pretty interesting. I would like to see, hopefully, new life getting breathed into this deck, and would like to see people play it. It's just one of those archetypes I feel like is kind of forgotten, to be honest. We also got Noble Knights, one of the TCG fan favorites. Exclusives got more support and has previously been getting support. While it's something I never played, I have dueled against some Noble Knight players, and it's a very, very interesting deck with the whole mythology around King Arthur and the Knights. Pretty cool. We also finally got Frightfur Patchwork and a couple other Fluffle monsters. I think it was we got one Fluffle monster and an Edge Imp. Which I'm gonna say, even though I do have a friend who plays Fluffles, it is about time we finally got Fluffle Patchwork. I know they've been needing it for a long time now. Speaking of which, Melodious finally, oh god, finally got Orientissimo. And me being a OG Melodious player, I'm happy it finally got the card. However, though, it is way too late. And the deck, I feel like Orientissimo is somewhat power crept a bit because of Lynx. Just that deck has definitely been power crept over the years. Well, it's still one of my favorite decks. I just wish this card came out earlier when it was needed, and it could have had more of an impact on the game, honestly, in my opinion. But we finally have it. Am I interested in rebuilding Melodious? Well, to be honest, kinda. I did finally put that deck down the beginning of this year, and while I do have the core, pretty much all the core for it, this is something I would possibly consider rebuilding. Now that we have Orientissimo, but it's just not as good anymore, sadly, which does suck. Trying to think. Predaplants got a new fusion and a new spell, which essentially the fusion works with Preda counters and all. Essentially works with Preda counters, and the spell card actually is, if I remember correctly, I think it puts spell counter or Preda counters on all your opponent's monsters. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. Really cool to see that this deck got some new support. And hopefully, maybe it will be used again, or at least the new fusion monster. Because, well, Predaplants were never really played as a deck, as a whole deck. There it was just the engine of Scorpio and Darling Cobra for the most part. Excuse me, and I will admit I do use that engine, and I wish the archetype was known for more than just that engine. So maybe the new Fusion can do it. I think that's all the new support for older archetypes. There is a lot of really good cards, and this is honestly what I'm looking forward to the most in this video. We do have a lot of just random cards that are pretty good and worth picking up, and with these cards being some Summer Summoner, which is a down to corner arrows for thunder monsters, which essentially lets you special summon a thunder monster from grave, but its effects are negated. And we also got the Dana the Light Charmer, which is essentially part of the line of monsters where you banish a monster of said attribute from the grave and special summon, and what do you know? It's also a thunder monster. So it's really nice to see Thunders get support after these years. They haven't really. It's something that just hasn't had generic support in a long time. And with this, I will throw out a recommendation out there. Pick these up, and if you pick these up, definitely mix them with the Hunter family. You have Ma Hunter, Pa Hunter, Bro Hunter, and Sis Hunter, and you can essentially mix in a couple more Thunder cards, but the main thing I was thinking of was those two with the Hunter family, because the way those work is they just repeatedly just gain additional normal summons, so there's some pretty crazy board spam you can do there. So I'm going to be throwing that out there as an idea. We also have a really good secret, just random kind of generic secret rare for traps called Trap Trick. Not to be confused with Trap Tricks. It's Trap Trick, although there is Trap Tricks in the artwork. This card essentially searches for any generic trap, or just any, not generic, any normal trap card, and you just play it from your deck to the field, and it can be used that turn. You can only use one trap card that turn, however, the turn you activate it, or activate Trap Trick, but considering you're getting the one trap card from your deck that you want, I think it's definitely the drawback isn't really that bad, and could also be used to help counter Thunder Dragons, just saying, which we'll go into more tomorrow. You also have Revenge of the Normal, which isn't actually, surprisingly, a card that supports normal monsters. If you don't know what it does, essentially, you play it, or it's a trap card, you flip it, and special summon level 4 or lower monsters from your hand equal to the number of monsters your opponent has on the field, which is honestly a pretty good recovery card for board spamming, or if your opponent goes first, pretty good way to essentially just quickly make a board. And again, that is a common, so pretty cheap. You also have blocker. I think block blocker or something like that. But you also have a couple other cards in this set that were also commons that are definitely worth picking up. And surprisingly, there's quite a bit of short prints from according to TCG Player for this set. We're going to go more into these cards later, though, as I do want to do discussion videos on these. I just thought I'd briefly mention a few of them, more of the better ones, out of all the ones I had looked at. But yeah, so most of those I'd say are pickups, pretty much for the most part. Looking at this set, You got a lot of you got a few new archetypes. You got support for a bunch of older archetypes. And just a lot of just single pickup cards that are just pretty generic. And you also have a few two new Thunder cards. Which is honestly pretty interesting to me. The fact that they would release those. I honestly didn't expect them to make any more of those monsters that special summon them. Special summon from banishing a monster of the same attribute from the grave. Didn't think they'd be making any more of those, but they proved me wrong. Yeah, what are your thoughts on this? On the or on this set? I'm curious as to what you guys think. And I will see you guys tomorrow with more on how to get yourself ready to fight against Thunder Dragons and give you guys counter options and a price guide. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys like this video, hit that like button. If you guys are interested in seeing more of my content, hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit that notification button. When it comes out, this way when content comes out, you guys get a notification about it. I do 4 to 5 videos a week. Thank you guys for watching.